Chapter 3 The Castle of the Wizards. Drake and Mina rushed out of Griffith's workshop. Drake patted his Earth's dragon Worm. Worm, can you please transport us to Balerion? Drake asked. Drake wore a green dragon stone around his neck. It started to glow. He heard Worm's voice inside his head. Yes, the dragon replied. Drake nodded to Mina. Do you remember how this works? I touch Frost with one hand and Worm with the other, Mina said, placing one hand on each dragon. Then whoosh, we're gone. Right, Drake said. Worm, take us to the castle of the wizards. Green light flashed. Drake's stomach flip-flopped. The light faded. They appeared at the gates of the castle. The wizard guard frowned. Halt! She cried. There are no dragons allowed inside the castle. If you do not let us in, we will storm your castle, Mina said. She put her hand on her axe handle. It's okay, Mina. Worm and Frost can stay here, Drake said. He turned to the guard. We will leave our dragons outside, but Mina and I need to see the head wizard right away. We're here on an important wizard business for the Griffith of the Green Fields. Very well, the guard said. She opened the gate. You will find her at the end of the hallway. Drake and Mina dashed into the castle. They quickly reached the door to the head wizard's workshop. The door magically swung open. A wizard with white hair and a wrinkled face smiled at them. Drake and Mina, come in, Jaina called out. The dragon masters entered the room. Jaina, Drake cried, it's so good to see you. We need your help. Mina passed her the piece of paper with the spell ingredients written on it. The head wizard looked at the list. She frowned. These are the ingredients for a very dark spell. I hope Griffin isn't making this. No, Astrid the wizard has collected these items, Mina said. I knew Astrid, Jaina said. There is no dark magic that she would not try. Do you know what kind of spell these ingredients are for? Drake guessed. Jaina looked worried. Yes, these items are only ever mixed together in one thing, a false life spell. It is used to bring to life things that are not alive, like rocks or wood or bones. Drake shivered. That sounds creepy. Yes, Jaina agreed. I fear that Astrid may be planning something terrible. Chapter 4 Jaina's Gazing Ball. We must stop Astrid from casting the false life spell, Mina cried. Jaina walked over to her gazing ball. Let's see where Astrid is right now, she said. Magic flowed from her fingers. The ball glowed with silver light. A picture appeared inside it. Drake saw Astrid riding a horse across a desert. Those are the red sands of Navid, and that is Mount Ruby behind her. But what is she doing there? Jaina asked. Then she frowned. Unless what? Mina asked. Unless she is heading to the fortress of the stone dragon, Jaina said. Why would she go there? Drake asked. That fortress is the most magical place in Navid, Jaina said. It looks like she is about 2 days away. Drake remembered the mirror in his belt. He looked into the mirror. Griffith, he asked. The wizard's face appeared. Drake, what have you found out? I'll let Jaina explain, Drake said, and he handed the mirror to the head wizard. Jaina told Griffith what they had learned. Griffith frowned. A false life spell, he said. Is there any magic powerful enough to undo it? I don't think so, Jaina said. I will have my top wizards work on it. The spell takes very long to create, so we will have time. I'll see what I can learn from my books, Griffith said. In the meantime, Drake and Mina go to the fortress. Warn the dragon master there that Astrid is on her way. Then the magic mirror went dark. Let's go, Mina said, and then she yawned. That made Drake yawn too. Jaina looked out the window. A bright moon hung in the sky. There is time for you and your dragons to rest and eat, Jaina said. Worm can transport you to the fortress in the morning. You will still be at least 1 day ahead of Astrid. Sleep would be nice, Drake said. I do not need rest, Mina said, but she yawned again. She didn't argue when Jaina led them to the guest quarters. The wizard fed Worm and Frost. They brought Drake and Mina soup and bread. The dragon masters and their dragons got a good night's sleep. Jaina met them at the dragon's table in the morning. My wizard and I will join you soon. But first, we need to find magic strong enough to fight Astrid, she told Drake and Mina. If Astrid gets there before we do, hide. Do not approach her on your own. She is dangerous. I am from the land of the far north, Mina said. We do not hide. Be careful, Mina, Jaina said, and safe travels to you all. Jaina waved as Worm transported Drake, Mina, and Frost to the fortress of the stone dragon in Navid. When they got there, Drake felt the heat from the desert sand through his shoes. He squinted and looked up at the sturdy fortress. He counted 8 tall towers joined by high stone walls. A voice rang out from the nearest tower. Who goes there? Chapter 5. Into the fortress. I am Drake, and this is my dragon Worm, Drake called out. His voice echoed across the stone fortress. And I am Mina of the far north. This is my dragon Frost, Mina announced. Can we come in? We are friendly. We are here with a warning, Drake said. How do I know you're telling the truth? The voice replied. Drake shaded his eyes as he looked toward the far right tower. He saw a boy with dark hair. A green dragonstone glittered around the boy's neck. We are dragon masters just like you are, Drake replied. He held up his own dragonstone to show him. The boy frowned. How can I be sure that you are friendly? Beside the boy, Drake saw a tall gray dragon. That must be the stone dragon, Drake thought. He called up to the boy. Worm will tell your dragon that we mean no harm. Have Worm do it then, the boy cried. Drake turned to Worm. Please tell the stone dragon that we are not going to cause any trouble. Worm gazed up at the dragon. After a moment, Drake saw the boy's dragonstone glow. His dragon was communicating with him. The boy slowly nodded. Sheikah says I can trust you. I will let you in. The boy and dragon disappeared from the tower. Drake heard a groan in front of them as the stone door slowly began to slide to the side. The dragon masters from the tower waited for them. Next to him, Sheikah's body was glowing with gray energy. The stone door seemed to be sliding on its own. Is the stone dragon moving the door with her powers? Drake wondered. Then he, Mina, Worm, and Frost stepped into the fortress. Drake got a good look at Sheikah. She had a strong, sturdy shape. Her gray scales reminded him of stones. The sharp spikes going down her back looked like dark crystals. The stone dragon began to glow again, and the door slid closed behind him. Whoa, Drake cried. Can Sheikah move things with her mind? Worm, my earth dragon, can do that. Sheikah can connect to anything made of stone, the boy replied, and he smiled for the first time. I'm Casper. Jaina, the head wizard, told us that this place is very magical. Jake said, It is, Casper said. Let me show you the Garden of the Beasts. They followed Casper across the courtyard. Giant rocks rose up from the ground. Some of the rocks were bigger than the dragons. Casper led them into a different courtyard. Scattered across the ground were bones, hundreds of bones, and the bones were huge. Some of them were as long as Worm and as thick as a tree trunk. Drake and Mina gasped. Bones, Mina said. Do you think that Astrid is going to bring these bones to life? Drake cried.